Did you want to interact with Zacharias?
I was thinking about it, but I'll leave Zacharias to his
devices.
Kash, for once, will interact with him. She hasn't interacted with him much. She looks at Zacharias and looks apologetic at him as much as she can look at that, and ask him what's on his mind. And
Zacharias for the first few seconds doesn't seem to really acknowledge that she's even there, but when she talks to me, he sort of stirs, and it seems like he's pulled from his reverie, and looks about what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
what's on your mind?
Zacharias' eyes wander again. Well, nothing special really.
Kash looks at him. I tried to get him to turn around to help you, but he wouldn't listen.
You can probably, by the way, roll a sense motive for.
I don't think she's that good at it, but you can try. It's not fun to be a liability. Nope, I don't think that will do it.
Let's see. I said. No, you buy it, I guess.
Yeah, well, Kash will leave Zacharias be.
No, it's you just buy the fact that he said that he was just thinking of nothing special. Zacharias shrugs. The man is greedy to a fault, and it clouds his judgment. And one day that will cost him dear.
Kash looks at him and says, I dearly hope so. I already told him that he should be wary. He might end up with a dagger in his back and poison on his tongue.
Zacharias smiles briefly. That might have been unwise to forewarn him of such things. But he shrugs.
He doesn't see me as a threat. He doesn't really care about me.
Ah, I see. Disrespecting of the dark elves, that is unwise.
It is. That's his failing.
He has many failings. And one of them, I think, as I said, is his greed. At one point, I'm sure it will be his undoing. And Zacharias smiles.
Okay.
Anyway, we have seal skins to sell, and we have cargo to deliver. Whatever happens after that, who knows?
And people to kill.
Yes, well, it's business before pleasure, right?
Yes, I guess. Catch nods to Zacharias and gives him space.
Zacharias will pull up some of his notebooks and start scribbling in them. Kash might catch a glimpse of something that looks like an anatomical sort of, drawing of a human with like errors and diagrams and stuff.
Huh. That's a little freaky, but okay.
All right. Yeah. Each seal skin you got, I believe, only for the first day.
Yep, then we got 4.
Or something. Are worth 50 gold pieces.
50 gold pieces each, so 200.
Yep. Yeah, each.
So we got 200 gold pieces of sealskin.
Yay. You can buy a crossbow for cash. They should rename it to Bunya Pile.
Yeah, what I want to do now? Just retreat.
Yeah, I guess we are doing that, right? Because we're gonna use
Yeah.
going like this, right?
Sail on. And as you get to around here,
Mm-hmm.
it is sort of a noon, and I would like some perception checks as you sort of can place yourself around the ship.
Would this be a new day?
Yes.
Then everyone else will be healed.
Yes.
I should give myself a rest.
And a perception check. Wow.
Back to the old bad checks like I'm used to.
The Jake way.
That's a lot of hours of rest.
Roll badly on everything except saves. That's the way of the Jake.
Your Jake is strong.
So 21, then 15. The highest.
All right. Well, anything above 10, really. You see what seems to be a small boat, and some men dressed in fur, sitting in what seems to be kayaks, sailing towards you.
Do they look hostile?
At the moment, you can sort of see that they seem to have harpoons or spears with them, but they're not. They seem to be a rather small group, and they do not directly seem to be hostile at this time.
Do they have the like harpoons raised? Do they seem threatening in any way?
Not at this time.
Zacharias looks at the others and then turns to Cardgal and says that there seems to be a collection of fishermen or perhaps whalers or whatever that is. Points out where they are.
Not as I've seen them. Do you wish to interact with them?
No, not really.
Seems like they wish to interact with us, but we can of course just slay them and ruffle through their belongings. Doesn't seem like much of a problem.
Probably not. We can at least see what they want, I suppose, before we do such things.
He shrugs.
Zacharias will quickly approach Cairen and say that perhaps some spells is in order.
Cairen nods.
When they're getting semi-close, Zacharias will sort of go down so he isn't seen and quickly cast shield upon himself.
Cairen will cast shield and mage armor.
Kash will drink a potion and might as well change appearance to a human.
Sure.
All right.
Markas, Markas will make himself look like the other sailors.
Azureus will just stand there with his equipment.
As you get closer, one has sort of a large wolf pelt, it seems. Maybe winter wolf even. Sort of looks over, raises a hand. Greetings there. Says.
Azureus, you're closest.
Greetings.
Do you come from the south? You do not seem to be the rest of the metal men.
metal men?
Sort of looks. Just your answer to his question. He is heavily accented.
Do I know what the metal men are?
I'm guessing he's saying knights.
Probably like
Guardians?
soldiers or something. It might be a good thing I changed out of my other outfit then.
Oh god, I can't find which one's
Items
Jake.
all seem to be made now that you look of flint or bone.
So yeah, he's probably meaning telling guards, dudes, soldiers.
And then,
No.
no, we are not.
So continues. Ah, then perhaps we can trade.
Perhaps.
Trade?
What do I have for trade?
Says, let us come on board and we can show you.
No, out of
I would
character.
suggest, out of character, I would suggest that we only allow a couple of them on.
Zacharias throws a glance at Cargill. It's his ship after all.
Gaggle just shrugs.
2 of you at a time aboard, no more.
He sort of nods. And this is White Tusk, our young chief. She bows. May we bring one of our companions with us to carry the goods. It is neither a job for me nor White Tusk.
Fair enough.
Oh, under 6 carry sort of a amount of pelts that he begins sort of to place out here.
Zacharias will, while this is going on, take a very careful look at the rest of these hunters to see what they're actually up to. They seem to have moved closer.
At the moment, they're sort of sitting there in their kayaks, seemingly just waiting out. They don't really seem to understand much of the talk going on.
Anything threatening going on?
Seemingly not. White Tusk sort of looks around and nods and gives a little bow to you. So, my companion will unpack our wares for you to see. But before then, I am Joseph, calls fire from water. Bows. I am the shaman of the White Tusks.
I see. My name is Zacharias Raith. Welcome aboard the Frosthammer.
Yes, it is an honor to meet others here who are not from the south.
I take it you are not happy with the south.
They are not happy with us. They wish us to give up our old ways and adopt theirs.
Ah, I see. Yes, they are quite short-sighted in that regard.
Yes. So we seek others with whom we can trade. Albeit their metal may be hurtful, but it is useful for hunting tools.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Good. You could, if you have knowledge local, you can do that too.
I don't. Maybe someone else.
Not me.
I do. Oh, never mind. That's a good check.
You don't want to do your roll?
You could like assist, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Build upon our knowledge. Share secrets.
Tell us your secrets.
Yep, so 24 in total.
Alright, you know that these must be probably people from the very northern island of Utak, which is quite a large sort of island, actually. If you go to, I'll just take you to the map so you can see. It lays up here. It is an area where Talingard has tried to expand before, but they have mostly failed due to the harsh climate. And most of the people there are sort of savage. They respect strength and ability, and they are very good hunters. There are sort of the real rumors there that they actually talk to like polar bears and sometimes even feast with frost giants.
Potential allies. Zacharias, oh dear, what's happening?
Back.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, my computer sort of freaked out.
I guess me and Kash will like share the secrets with you.
Yeah, sure.
Joseph calls Fire for Water. Seems pleased that you have heard of them.
Ah yes, the way of the strong in the north. It is famous. Zacharias nods. We are people who, like you, respect strength.
Cairen nods.
Shaman nods and listens to something the chief is saying in a language you would presume is Utak.
Zacharias sort of motions to Azureus since he is way more diplomatic than Zacharias is.
What are you currently wearing, a lot of you?
Kash is wearing her normal studded leather armor. She just doesn't look like a dark elf.
I've
Looks-
changed my appearance to that of one. Oh, sorry, you were still. Continue. I cut you off.
No, it's just that she's wearing her studded leather armor, but looks like a human. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Jake, where is your token?
Right here, I changed myself before they came over to look like.
Oh.
He's secret, he is safe.
Azureus
Oh,
is currently just wearing his cloth robe over his armor, so you can't actually see the armor.
Zacharias is wearing his normal sort of coats, but he also has like fur jackets or whatever heaped on him for some protection from the cold, stuff like that.
White Tusk seems to regard your sort of southern clothing with some appreciation in his eyes. Another thing you actually learned with your local is high enough that that it is known that that the Utak are very sort of filled with vendettas. If for example you killed someone, his sister's brother's friend, it will all escalate into a huge raid for revenge usually, which is how many of their justice things it's done. It is your duty to take revenge on if your friends or family were hurt, and that's what ripples out.
Everyone here, be careful.
Well, this is something we could use, right? Because if Talingard is trying to expand up there, there's bound to be a few blood debts to Talingard among these people. If we can utilize that,
Basically, you want to start a war.
we are starting a war already, aren't we?
We're starting more wars.
Yes. Bring more troops to the banner, of course.
We need a flag. We need to draw ourselves a flag.
I think we have. It's the
I
Asmodeus.
started to work on one.
Good, Jake.
So, Zacharias was sort of.
So White Tusk looks and says, Joseph calls. Platform Water says, White Tusk has asked me to show you our wares.
Please.
Over here. And first, as the man unpack what seems to be a lot of walrus teeth. You could do, your appraise to see if, sure. Walrus ivory.
How's everyone's awesome? Oh God! Oh, you know about walrus.
I know everything about walrus. Oh,
I know me
jeez.
more.
Dark cat knows everything.
Like light pours out of her eyes. Like, I know everything.
She is walrus.
I have become walrus.
There seem to be 15 teeth, and you would think the two of you, you could sort of pretty much agree that perhaps this would actually gain you if all these were sold. You could maybe gain 1,200 gold for these 15 walrus tusks.
That sounds excellent. And Zacharias will sort of talk to Kash and nod and be very wise about it. So, yes, this one is excellent condition.
Given the fluctuating prices,
As you
current
see,
market.
the difficulty of obtaining these things with bunyips all over the place is quite pricey. Yes, quite. Zacharias?
Yeah, White just sort of looks at you, to see your reaction.
Well, Zacharias, being interested, but it of course doesn't show it. It's more like, well, it's harsh market these days. I could perhaps extend an offer of. So how much would they did they actually ask for these?
They don't seem to have asked anything yet. They seem to still be showing you.
Zacharias nods and say, well, these are of acceptable condition. We could be perhaps convinced of a trade.
White just sort of smiles and says something that sounds grandeur in Utak. Joseph calls calls fire from water, translates it. So this next thing is a treasure that was hoped to gain great wealth in the south. White Tusk killed it himself, single-handedly, and wrestled it from the skull of this creature. With it, he named and gathered the clans and made the White Tusks. It is a great treasure, and it is a treasure that should bring us great wealth that'll show in the north. And forth they gather what seems to be a very long, sort of thin, and a very beautiful narwhal horn.
Ooh.
Zacharias nods.
And you can roll praise for that as well.
I am become narwhal.
You are novel.
I am also Narwhal that is disguised as a sailor.
All right. Primarily, Zacharias could actually see this, as he has some knowledge of magic, that this could already, just in its current condition, perhaps be used to fight. It seems to be quite sturdy, quite strong, and it would actually count as a masterworked quarterstaff. Beyond that, though, it will also, if perhaps made into a magical staff, a rod, or a wand, it would actually make that magic item significantly cheaper than a normal one.
That is much. That's very interesting. Yes, maybe we do need this.
And in addition, perhaps for just selling it, you could possibly get here 2,000 gold pieces. It is very rare, and it is extremely good quality.
Zacharias will nod and bow to the chieftain White Tusk and say, "You bring a mighty prize before us, and you honor us with such a magnificent trophy." He sort of motions to the guy to translate.
Yeah, Joseph bows and does. And White just sort of nods and, looks at all of you. Seems proud.
The power of the White Tusk clan is indeed great, as we had heard. Yes. Let us do business then.
Joseph nods. Then show us your wares.
Hmm. Well, Zacharias, looking around. Well, my first instinct, actually, out of character, is to basically break up one of the boxes.
You know the weapons here are made for bugbears.
Oh, the large.
So, no, but they're perhaps not what these people are looking for. You notice that they're mostly using spears.
Wow.
Hmm.
I could offer maybe my Morning Star and training and the use of it, so that way, I don't know.
I have a dagger.
I mean, it's made of steel, which is valuable to them, and
I have a steel
it could be a valuable trophy for their chief to use something different.
Knowing them, you know that they usually, when trying to trade with the South, it's usually to get valuable metal to make useful spear tips.
Any kind of metal.
So they could just break it apart and make spear tips, or...
So they want steel, basically, or iron.
Just anything made of it?
But they want
Manaki-
the...
Would they want just anything made of metal, or just...
Perhaps they might like stuff that actually is sort of easily breakable, maybe broken into small pieces or something.
But they want some... I do have that poison from those snakes.
They
Do
want
we-
metal.
We have the mithril.
That's my
Yeah, we
point.
have mithril, that's right.
This is probably how we can get maximum profit out of the mithril, actually. So yeah, Zacharias will bring forth the small chest or whatever the party has to sort of store.
I think it'd probably be a large one if we're carrying, what is it, 40 pounds of mithril?
40 pounds of mithril, yeah.
A very big small chest.
Very big small chest, and Zacharias will sort of nod to Azureus to back him up in these claims, but he basically, says that, yes, but for these excellent trophies you bring before us, Chief, we in turn would pay you in the rarest of metals, what the dwarves have almost complete monopoly on, extremely rare and hard to get. It is as light as a feather and as hard as a dragon's scale. And he opens the chest and lets them see this sparkling mithril.
You see White sort of, his eyes widen a little as he nods clearly in appreciation and consideration, looking at his own, and talks a little with Joseph, back and forth. Joseph then says, we would accept, he looks, if you give us a look at that. He looks at the mithril.
Zacharias
Can
will...
we inspect it?
Zacharias will sort of grab a piece from the mithril and sort of hand it, take a step forward to hand it to whoever wants to take it. I don't know.
Joseph.
Right, yeah, give it to Joseph.
Then hands it to White Dusk.
Yep.
So looks at it, inspects it, feels how light it is, nods and smiles, and again talks a little back and forth with Joseph in due tack. Joseph gets it back and hands it back to Zacharias' box. What do you want for this?
This is quite valuable. Zacharias says,
We will give you the horn for half of this. We will give you the rest of the teeth for the rest of this.
so let's see.
You'll make good spearheads.
Okay, so the mithril's worth 4,000 total, I believe.
Right. The horn is 2,000, so that's half. That's an even
Yeah.
trade.
Let's not go for the walrus teeth, I think.
We need more teeth if we're gonna accept that deal.
How much were the teeth worth?
1,200.
Yeah, it would be... I mean, it's a better deal than we would get in the city, but...
Probably, yeah.
Because in the city you generally get half, so...
But then what would we do
Might be
with the
easier
horn?
to sell than walrus teeth.
Yeah, the
Oh my.
walrus teeth themselves are easier to sell in the city than mithril.
They're a lorded commodity, basically.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So
Well,
what,
the
And that
mithril
plus
is
our
scrap
shield
metal.
belts.
so what we want to
Yeah.
do is
Oh.
basically up the price, right? The horn for half that's a fair trade, but the other we need to sort of up the price a bit, I think, or at least try to.
I mean, we can try our diplomatic skill. That's it.
Yeah.
Joseph sort of looks at you expectantly.
Just offer half the mithril for everything they've offered to her and see what happens.
That would get them offended for sure.
Yes.
Maybe 3/4 or 2/3 for everything. Well, no, 3/4 is more than 2/3 for sure.
Zacharias will nod and say that half of the mithril for the normal horn is a fair and honorable trade, and that is it seems acceptable to him. However, for the other half of the mithril, the walrus teeth are indeed fine, and they are valuable. However, this was no small feat of obtaining the mithril, being so rare, only found in the deepest mines of the dwarves. Surely, this fantastic metal has not come into your possession in decades, if ever before. Surely there would be willingness to offer a little bit more, perhaps, for this rare ingredients that we bring you.
Joseph translates this. White Tusk sort of nods at first and seems to consider something, and then talks back to Joseph as he looks at each of you. Joseph looks at you and says, "The great White Tusk has offered as a symbol of friendship when this deal has been accepted. All our wares for your metal, that he will also switch his clothes with one of you."
Oh,
Zacharias
Look.
takes a look at his clothes.
His clothes are nice pelts, nice winter clothes.
Are they-
If you have other things you might wish, then do speak of us. Coming back with this metal would be a great victory for White Tusk.
how much worth? What's?
I mean, selling his clothes might be worth that much. 100 gold pieces.
About it? What's it? What is it? Is it good or?
It's nice for clothing. You would sort of guess. Give me a sense motive.
Okay.
Oh god, we need sense motives. Not our best skill.
No. Can someone help me?
Oh, technically that's +2 I gave you.
Zacharias can tell that White Tusk actually likes sort of the outlandish-looking clothes, and perhaps he would simply like to have some.
Is there anything else like clearly valuable they have with them?
It doesn't seem that much, no.
My suggestion then, and this is other characters, what do you think? But my suggestion is then that we're actually, like, the mithril is extremely rare, right? These people have never seen it before, probably will never see it again. So as a boon, like to sweeten the deal for us, we could ask them for not really joining us in the war effort, but being, receptive to an alliance, you know what I mean? Sort of as a token of goodwill, hear out our ambassadors and think favorably upon their words. Should we visit them or call upon them in the future?
Basically kind of make, like, peace treaty.
Yeah, it's a
Are we gonna pull? We're gonna pull like a Portuguese on the Japan kind of thing here.
Yes, we are.
I don't know what exactly that means, but yeah, sure, why not?
Non-bun trade. I'm gonna bring war to these people, but they're gonna like it.
Because they get
Because
metal.
who doesn't like war?
Indeed. So Zacharias will actually sort of start to talk around this a bit. Again, we're praising them for the interesting proposition, and that perhaps something could be arranged in this department. But he will also ask them sort of some of the recent sort of grand history of the clan, Specifically, he is probing for any sort of like hint of blood debts or vendettas with the Telling Guardians, like basically trying to measure their sort of willingness to fight, you know?
Could you make a diplomacy or a gather, whichever you prefer?
Maybe
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Can we assist him?
Yeah, that's fair.
Or can I use my role? Because mine's probably better.
Use your role.
If you want to take over the conversation, sure.
Oh god, we might want to do Kash instead. So should we go Kash?
Do Kash have the confidence to continue this discussion?
I might as well try.
It's all being loaded on you.
You'll be what?
We're going to load all of this diplomacy on you.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll add a +2 onto that. I rolled 3, so good thing I didn't do it.
It's like if for me to Jake.
You know, I've got 25 diplomacy Kash.
Okay, so what we want is an alliance.
Yes, the potential of an alliance. Like this is like he is basically, you know, offering as a token of friendship, and in return we say, well, this deal is not perhaps optimal for us in a financial point of view, but as a token of friendship we are willing to accept it. But we request in the future that you perhaps listen to our ambassadors. We seem to have, you know, a common enemy, I guess, in Talengard, and maybe we should do something about that someday.
I should communicate with White Tusk, sort of discussing his, you know, trying to get into recent things. You learn that most of what Talengard has actually sent them has been missionaries, sort of trying to talk to them about Mithras, and they have not appreciated it one bit. It seems that they usually actually kill these missionaries. They don't really care for them.
Cairen approves.
Yeah. Zacharias
And at one point they had an Inquisitor come, and he thought he was a bit big, and so he was murdered.
Zacharias at this will actually sort of stop and ask, what was his name? Do you remember what he called himself?
Joseph will sort of convey this to White Sasquatch, shakes his head. You'd guess that if he said his name, they probably wouldn't remember it. And Joseph then tells about how White Tusk was born very strong, and as a child he actually wrestled down a bear, and that he is known for again ripping this horn, this fine horn from the skull of the great narwhal.